The world's most valuable company just admitted it can't build its own AI and is now begging its competitors for help. But what Apple is about to do with Siri could completely reshape the AI industry, and Tim Cook's desperate move might actually be genius. Welcome back to AI Handbook channel, where I share AI news videos every day. By the end of this video, you will understand why Apple's desperate move to outsource Siri might actually be the smartest decision Tim Cook has ever made, and how this could completely reshape the AI industry. For the first time in Apple's modern history, the company is seriously considering abandoning its core principle of keeping everything in-house. According to Bloomberg reports from just this week, Apple is in active discussions with both Anthropic and OpenAI about using their large language models to power a completely revamped version of Siri. This isn't just another partnership announcement. This is Apple admitting that after 14 years of Siri development and billions of dollars invested, they simply cannot compete with the AI capabilities that ChatGPT and Claude demonstrate every single day. The conversations have gone beyond casual discussions. Apple has specifically asked both companies to train custom versions of their models that could run on Apple's private cloud compute infrastructure. We're talking about a fundamental architectural change to how Siri operates. But why is Apple, a company that famously rejected Google Maps in favor of building Apple Maps from scratch, now willing to hand over the brain of its voice assistant to external companies? The answer lies in a series of devastating delays that have rocked Apple's AI division. In March 2025, Apple was forced to make a rare public admission. The promised AI-enhanced Siri features would not arrive until 2026 or later. These weren't minor feature updates. Apple had promised that Siri would gain the ability to understand personal context, take actions across multiple apps, and demonstrate the kind of conversational intelligence that users see in ChatGPT every day. Instead, what we got was an 18-month delay and an Apple spokesperson saying, "It's going to take us longer than we thought to deliver on these features." Tim Cook had personally promoted these capabilities, saying an even more capable Siri would launch in 2025. That promise is now completely broken. The technical challenges proved overwhelming. Multi-app integration, personal context understanding, and maintaining Apple's privacy standards while delivering competitive AI performance became an impossible triangle to square. But here's where the story gets really interesting. Behind closed doors, Apple's AI division was in complete chaos. John Giannandrea, Apple's Senior Vice President of Machine Learning and AI Strategy, had been at the helm of Siri development since joining from Google in 2018. But in March 2025, Tim Cook made a dramatic decision. Giannandrea was stripped of his Siri responsibilities and replaced by Mike Rockwell, the mastermind behind Apple Vision Pro. According to Bloomberg sources, Cook had lost confidence in Giannandrea's ability to execute on product development. In internal meetings, Giannandrea himself called the situation ugly and embarrassing. This wasn't just a simple reorganization. Rockwell brought his entire Vision Pro management team to take over Siri, essentially demoting or replacing the existing voice assistant leadership. The message was clear. Apple's current AI approach wasn't working, and desperate times called for desperate measures. By the way, if you're finding this deep dive into Apple's AI crisis valuable, hitting that subscribe button really helps us continue bringing you these insider insights into the tech industry's biggest moves. Now comes the fascinating part. Apple's evaluation team, after thorough testing, determined that Anthropic's Claude was actually the best fit for Siri's next generation. Adrian Perica, Apple's VP of Corporate Development, opened official licensing talks with Anthropic. The compatibility was there, the technology aligned with Apple's needs, but then came the sticker shock. Anthropic is reportedly demanding a multi-billion-dollar annual licensing fee, with substantial yearly increases built in. We're talking about payments that could easily exceed $5 billion per year by the time the partnership matures. Even for Apple, with its $3 trillion market cap, these demands were too aggressive. This is where OpenAI enters the picture as a more financially reasonable alternative. But there's a strategic element here that goes beyond money. Whoever wins this deal doesn't just get Apple's licensing fees, they get access to over 2 billion iPhone users worldwide. This potential partnership reveals a fundamental tension in Apple's strategy. The company built its modern reputation on privacy, with marketing campaigns literally centered around the phrase, "Privacy, that's iPhone." But AI advancement requires massive data processing, rapid iteration, and often cloud-based computation that conflicts with Apple's on-device processing philosophy. Apple's current approach keeps most AI processing local to protect user privacy, but this severely limits what Siri can accomplish compared to cloud-based competitors. By partnering with Anthropic or OpenAI, Apple would be acknowledging that privacy-first AI development simply cannot match the performance of cloud-based systems in 2025. The irony is striking. To protect their competitive position, Apple might have to compromise the very principles that differentiated them in the first place. If Apple chooses Anthropic, it would instantly become a major challenge to OpenAI's consumer dominance. Imagine Claude-powered intelligence built into every iPhone, iPad, and Mac. With 155 million iPhones in the US alone and over 2 billion globally, Apple's choice could fundamentally shift the AI landscape overnight. Samsung already follows this model. Galaxy AI relies primarily on Google's Gemini rather than in-house development. But Apple making this move would validate the idea that even the world's most capable hardware companies cannot build competitive AI software independently. This isn't just about voice assistants, it's about whether vertical integration, Apple's core strategy for decades, remains viable in the AI era. Even if Apple signs a deal tomorrow, the enhanced Siri won't launch until spring 2026 at the earliest. Apple's internal target is iOS 26.4, giving them over a year to integrate whatever solution they choose. But a year is an eternity in AI development. By the time Apple's new Siri arrives, OpenAI, Google, and others will have released multiple generations of improvements. This timing challenge explains why some Apple employees are reportedly frustrated enough to consider offers from Meta, OpenAI, and other AI-focused companies offering massive compensation packages. Apple's traditional take time to get it right approach simply doesn't work when competitors are shipping meaningful improvements every few months. While Apple delays, its competitors aren't standing still. Google Assistant already integrates with Gemini AI, offering multi-step reasoning and app integration that Siri promised but couldn't deliver. Amazon's new Alexa Plus can continue conversations across different devices, while Siri remains limited to single-device interactions. Microsoft's Copilot is embedded throughout Windows and Office, creating an AI-first experience that makes Siri feel primitive by comparison. Perhaps most damaging, OpenAI's ChatGPT app often ranks higher than Siri in user satisfaction surveys, despite being a third-party application rather than a built-in system feature. The gap isn't just technical, it's perceptual. Users increasingly view Siri as outdated technology rather than cutting-edge innovation. This decision could reshape Apple's financial future. AI capabilities are becoming a primary driver of smartphone upgrade cycles, especially in markets where Apple Intelligence is available. The iPhone 16 was marketed as built for Apple Intelligence, but if that intelligence continues to lag behind competitors, it undermines Apple's premium pricing strategy. Conversely, if Apple successfully integrates world-class AI through partnerships, it could accelerate the replacement cycle and drive services revenue through enhanced Siri capabilities. Wall Street is watching closely. Apple's stock jumped 2% the day Bloomberg reported the partnership discussions, suggesting investors see external AI integration as positive rather than a sign of weakness. But the long-term implications are complex. Does Apple become an AI distributor rather than an AI innovator? And what happens to its margins if it's paying billions annually for the technology that powers its most important user interface? Apple finds itself at a crossroads that would have been unimaginable just 5 years ago. The company that revolutionized personal computing, mobile phones, and tablets is now playing catch-up in the technology that will define the next decade. But perhaps this crisis represents opportunity. By acknowledging its limitations and partnering with AI leaders, Apple could leapfrog its current capabilities and deliver the kind of intelligent assistant that iPhone users have been waiting for since 2011. The question isn't whether Apple should partner with external AI companies. At this point, they may have no choice. The question is whether they can execute this partnership while maintaining the user experience and privacy standards that define the Apple brand. Tim Cook's next decision could determine whether Apple remains a premium technology leader or becomes a beautiful hardware company that relies on others for its most important software capabilities. One thing is certain: the Siri of 2026 will be dramatically different from anything Apple has built before. Whether that's a victory or a surrender depends entirely on how well they execute what might be the most important partnership in the company's history. What do you think about Apple's potential AI partnerships? Are they making a smart strategic move or admitting defeat in the AI race? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to give this video a like. It really helps the channel reach more people who are interested in understanding these major tech industry developments. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our daily AI industry insights. We're covering all the major moves, partnerships, and developments that are shaping the future of artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue tracking the rapidly evolving world of AI technology.